A new survey shows that 86% of parents are worried about raising kids in the era of smartphones, social media, and internet. 94% of parents believe that kids are happier when they're using their gadgets less. And yet 73% of parents admit that their kids use devices too much. They also say it's difficult to set limits on how much their kids are using smartphones, social media, and other devices. It is hard to keep track of what they rate doing online, and even harder to get them to stop. And then there's my personal favorite. 91% of parents say they wish they could take away their kids' devices without them protesting. Well, now that we know that parents are struggling with this, let's look at some of the reasons why. The first reason is smartphones. Kids are getting access to smartphones at a younger age than ever before. A recent survey suggests that 48% of kids aged 2 to 11 years old have their own smartphone. Some studies suggest that the average age of a child getting their first smartphone is around 10 years old. But many kids are getting smartphones for their birthday or Christmas well before that. But it's not just the access to smartphones that is increasing. Children are also spending more time on their devices. According to Common Sense Media, kids are spending an average of 7 hours a day on screens. That's nearly 1/3 of their day. Now, if you think that sounds like too much screen time, well, you're not alone. A recent study found that 94% of parents agree that kids are happier when they rate using their devices less. However, 73% of parents admit that their kids use devices too much. The second reason is the use of social media. Social media is another major concern for parents. Many kids are using social media platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat at a very young age. In fact, according to a Pew Research Center survey, 31% of teens aged 13 to 17 years old say that they use Instagram every day. And 29% of teens in the same age group say they use TikTok every day. But it's not just the amount of time kids are spending on social media that's concerning. It's also the content they're being exposed to. Many social media platforms are filled with inappropriate content that can be harmful to kids. For example, TikTok has been under fire for hosting inappropriate content, including videos that promote dangerous challenges and expose children to mature themes. The third reason is the influence of social media influencers. Another major concern for parents is the influence of social media influencers. Many kids look up to these influencers and try to emulate their behavior. This can be problematic because many influencers promote unhealthy behaviors, such as overspending, substance abuse, and risky sexual behavior. For example, a recent study found that kids who follow fashion influencers on Instagram are more likely to feel pressure to conform to unrealistic beauty standards. The fourth reason is parents are too busy. Finally, parents are often too busy to monitor their kids' device use. Many parents work long hours and don't have the time or energy to keep track of their kids' online activity. Additionally, some parents may feel that it's not their place to monitor their kids' device use, believing that their kids are old enough to make their own decisions. However, this can be problematic because kids need guidance and supervision when it comes to using devices. They may not equipped to handle the pressures and temptations that come with social media and other online platforms. The good news is that there are things parents can do to protect their kids from the negative effects of smartphones, social media, and the internet. Here are a few tips for parents on how to raise kids in the era of smartphones, social media, and the internet. First, start by setting clear boundaries and limits on device use. This can help kids understand what is expected of them and can prevent them from spending too much time on their devices. For example, you might set a limit of 1 hour of screen time per day for young kids or allow for more screen time on weekends as a reward for good behavior during the week. You can also set up parental controls on devices to limit access to inappropriate content and restrict the amount of time your kids can spend on certain apps or websites. Next, monitor your kids' device use. This doesn't mean going through their phone or spying on them, but it does mean being aware of what they rate doing on their devices and who they rate interacting with. You can do this by checking in on them periodically, asking them to show you what they're doing, or by using parental control software to get an overview of their activity. By monitoring your kids' device use, you can step in if they're engaging in harmful or inappropriate behavior. Another important tip is to model good device use yourself. Kids learn by example, so it's important to model the behavior you want to see in them. This means being mindful of your own device use and setting a good example for your kids. For example, avoid using your phone at the dinner table or put it away when you rate spending quality time with your kids. Showing your kids that you value in-person interactions and other activities can help them do the same. It's also important to encourage your kids to engage in other activities outside of device use. This can include hobbies, sports, arts, and crafts, or simply spending time in nature. By encouraging your kids to pursue other interests, you can help them develop a balanced life and prevent them from becoming too reliant on their devices. Finally, have open and honest conversations with your kids about device use and online safety. Let them know your expectations and the reasons behind them, and listen to their perspective as well. This can help them understand the importance of balancing device use with other activities and staying safe online. You can also teach them how to identify and avoid inappropriate content, how to interact with others respectfully online, and how to protect their personal information. Raising kids in the era of smartphones, social media, and the internet can be challenging. But by following these tips, parents can help their kids navigate this digital world safely and responsibly. Smartphones, social media, and the internet have become an integral part of our daily lives. And as such, it is essential that we equip our kids with the skills they need to thrive in this digital age. By taking the time to monitor their device use, set boundaries, and have open conversations with them, parents can help their kids enjoy the benefits of technology while also protecting them from its potential harms. Remember, the goal is not to prevent our kids from using technology, but rather to guide them in using it in a healthy and responsible way. Thank you for watching today's video. Please like and share for more insightful parenting tips. We value your support and look forward to bringing you more helpful content in the future.